So what if global warming was actually a good thing? Hi, this is Jeremy with Positive Resonance. So today I want to talk a little bit about global warming. There's a big debate right now about whether or not it's happening, but one question that is not being asked is this really a bad thing? Now, in Zen Buddhism, we have this concept of the don't know mind. And don't know mind is about leaving a little bit of doubt as to our ideas and stances and positions and everything we take. For instance, we can look at something, even if we know what it is, then say, what is that? And the answer would be, we don't know. So in reality, we don't actually know. We're just giving it a label. And the same thing can happen with concepts. Is something good or bad? Don't know. Instead of taking a stance or a side on something, we're just saying don't know. The reason for this strategy is because many hundreds of years ago, the Buddha realized that all suffering was a result of three things: attachment, aversion, and ignorance. Ignorance is not a lack of knowledge, it's ignorance of the true reality. In other words, our understanding of self is a false self. When we identify as a single individual, that is ignorance, because we're not actually aware of the reality, which is that we're all at some deeper level connected. But for the other two, aversion and attachment, those two are simply taking sides, saying that one thing is good and the other thing is bad. And so in Zen Buddhism, the way that they get around that is by leaving some room for the idea that we don't actually know for sure. So if you want to take a stance on something or side for something, you can say, okay, this might be good, but actually you don't know, we're not sure. And that's the way to eliminate psychological suffering. In this world, we have so much division. People are taking one side or the other, and it doesn't even matter if you're right or wrong, because people who, let's say, discover that they're wrong, of course they're going to suffer from the result of realizing that they're wrong. People who discover that they're right, or think that they've discovered that they're right, they have to spend a lot of energy to prove that they're right. And that could be short-lived, because, okay, you might be right one day, but at some point, whatever that was that you took a side on in saying that you're right, or were proved to be right, later down the road, that might still change to be wrong, or quote-unquote wrong. So there's always the idea is that you don't want to always take a firm stance, because no matter which side you're going to be on, that's going to lead you to suffering. So it's always a good idea to have that don't know mind, which is the ability to say, hey, I don't know for sure. This could be right or this could be wrong. So where does this lead with the global, where is this going with global warming is this, because we assume, and society just assumes, that global warming is bad. I mean, across the board, you're not going to get many people that say, hey, this is a good thing. But do we know that it is a bad thing? That's the question. And the thing is, we don't know for sure. We're making a big assumption that it's a bad thing. In esoteric literature, the paradise, the Garden of Eden, or the state that we were in, before the so-called fall of man, was a state of, it was basically a warm climate, warm all the time. There wasn't the seasons. Supposedly what happened after the fall of man is that change in consciousness shifted the poles, and that shift in the poles created the tilt in the earth, which then created the seasons. Now that we have fallen, the reverse situation is now the ascension process. And the ascension process, well, it's going to be a reversal. So what will happen is we could have another shift in the poles, and actually that is already happening. We know that it's happening because the magnetic pole is shifting, and accompanying that would be a shift in the earth temperatures. Now, according to Ken Carey in his book, The Third Millennium, he mentioned that there is going to be some changes with the shift of consciousness back into the New Age. And in his words, these shifts would be benevolent, and that would include the melting of the polar ice caps, which again we think, oh, that's caused by global warming and it's going to be bad. But what he indicated in his book was that the melting of the ice caps would provide moisture that would eliminate deserts that we have on the planet right now, and it would provide rain that would wash away a lot of the pollution that we have on the planet right now. So we're talking about going back towards that more the climate that we had before the fall of man, and it would reduce and eliminate the pollution that we've had right now. Those are not bad things. And the bigger picture is we don't need to continue taking sides to the degree that we think that our side is good and the other side is bad. When we have division, it's not wrong to have a division actually. What's wrong is the fact that we are living from a space of fear. And that's what's creating an unhealthy environment in the world. If we were to be able to have our opinions, but still have them from a place of, hey, this is how I feel about that, and respect other people to have their other opinions too, that is actually a healthy situation. There is nothing wrong with having different opinions as long as everybody is doing so from a place of love. Right now, what we're doing is we're having different opinions from a place of fear and hate. And that's what's really causing the issues in this world right now.